Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Uncut Africa Live, a channel that brings you insight of African politics, and I'm always your guy, De-Graft Amoako. Will ECOWAS send troops to Niger to face off with the military authorities that staged the July 26 coup, sacking Mohamed Bazoum from office? This is the question dominating stories and headlines across the ECOWAS region, and certainly one that has left the landlocked nation of Niger in an unprecedented mix of anger, fear, and deviance. After several meetings of West African defense chiefs, the latest held in Accra, Ghana on Thursday, August 17th, the answer to this question, if at all clear, remains that the ECOWAS is not letting go of the threats of military intervention. They insist that the option of armed intervention remains on the table. Abdel-Fatau Musah, ECOWAS commissioner, said on Thursday that all member states except those under military rule and Cape Verde have agreed to contribute troops for this standby force. Let's watch this video. I will be back.
That is what we want to inform you about, and that as soon as our heads of state and government are satisfied with the report that have been presented, our troops across the region are ready, and they are ready to call respond to the call of duty of the region. We are not against the Republic of Niger. We have said, just as the chief of the committee, the chair of the Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff has just said, that all the options are on the table. And as we speak, we are still readying mediation mission into the country. So we've not shut any door. We've not shut any door at all. The sanctions are also on the table. And if they respond favorably, to the request by the authority of heads of state for dialogue, we are ready to accept. All we are saying is that we are not going to engage in endless dialogue. It must be fruitful, and its objective must be the restoration of constitutional order in the shortest possible time We are also calling for the release of the legitimate president of the Republic of Niger, His Excellency Mohamed Bazoum, and his family, and members of his government who are being held hostage, by the regime in Niger. This is our message, to them, that our doors are open, but we are not going to engage in endless dialogue. That is why we say all options are on the table. If they want to take the peaceful pathway to very early restoration of constitutional order in the country, then we can stand down the military option, because it is not our preferred option. But we are being obliged to do it because of the intransigence and the obstacles of the regime and the obstacles they've been putting in the way of a negotiated settlement to the restoration of constitutional order. This is our message, and I don't think you are going to ask me a question about when we are deploying. I cannot even answer that. That is left to the chair of the Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff and the colleagues who have that. It is an operational tool, that we don't disclose it. So we hope you are not going to ask that question. All I can tell you is that we are ready, equipment-wise, the political will of the countries involved, all of them around this table, and the resources required, our own resources. And I would want finally to tell you that ECOWAS is doing this in defense of its principles. Those who are misinforming the public that ECOWAS is being teleguided or being directed by this power or that power, they are missing the point completely. And that all our interventions in the past, no external power urged us to do it. We did it ourselves, and this is no different. So we are doing it for ourselves, by ourselves, and for posterity. In the ECOWAS sub-region, we want to get back to constitutional normalcy. And the decision is that the coup in Niger is one coup too many, for the region, and we are putting a stop to it at this time. We are drawing the line in the sand, and that is it. I thank you very much for your attention.
Okay. So the general said they are not being controlled by any power, but they are following the principles of ECOWAS. But what the general don't know, maybe he don't know, is your principle or the ECOWAS principle was drafted in Paris or in France. You may not know, or you may not, because you are following the authorities of your country's leaders. You have been ordered to organize troops to go and intervene in Niger. But what you may not know is you are going to fight somebody's cause for him. You are going to fight somebody's cause for him. That is where the questions comes in. After all these interventions and all this military brouhaha, who is going to benefit? It's France who is going to benefit. They are pushing you to go and intervene in Niger because they are no longer going to get access to the uranium which is powering their nuclear reactors. You get it? We in the ECOWAS region or West Africa don't somehow support coup. We wish this democratic system was working. We should have supported you if the country democratic system were working. People are not in support of this intervention or whatever you want to go and do at Niger because for centuries, ECOWAS leaders hasn't been living up to their expectation. If you are talking about region, the African continent, one region that got all the resources, oil, gold, cocoa, diamond, whatever resources, you can find it in West Africa. But still, West African region or ECOWAS region is one of the poorest regions in Africa. ECOWAS region is one of the poorest regions in Africa. Which country? Nigeria has been disappointment. Ghana has been disappointment. You go to this country and there is no proper development in that country. Only corruption. There is always corruption, scandals going on in West Africa. That is why somehow people are kind of supporting this coup happening in West Africa because things are not going well in West Africa. The democracy system is not working. This party comes to power still for 8 years, then this another party comes to power still for 8 years. And even some of the countries, they come to power and they change the constitution to run for life. Like they will rule the country for life. That is why people are not in support of the military intervention in Niger. So don't say people are misinformed the world that they are being controlled by some power somewhere. That is why they are going to intervene, and that is not true. Somehow it's true, because all this intervention, if you are going to go deep, who is the brain behind it and who is going to benefit after this intervention is France, who is going to benefit. Most of the West African countries' leaders are somehow puppets. You get it? So now people want leaders that are bold. People want leaders that will use their resources to develop the country. No one is against, what do we call it? No one will be against democratic system if they were doing the right thing. But things are not going well in West Africa. And this intervention, you guys want to go and intervene. If you people are able to go and do that, there will be a lot of conflict in West Africa, because we are going to have a lot of military, insurgents popping up everywhere, trying to fight all these countries who want to intervene. And Ghana, one peaceful country, may start experiencing some unnecessary conflict between their neighbors. You get it? Burkina Faso is our neighbor, and Burkina is supporting Niger. So imagine Ghana is going to is part of the ECOWAS military who is going to intervene, and do you know what is going to happen? Somehow Burkina can come and attack Ghana. There will be conflict in West Africa. That is why people are trying to tell you, find a way of solving this issue amicably, so that there won't be some conflict. And at the end of the day, at the end of this conflict, we know who is going to benefit. We know those who are going to benefit. Whilst we are facing our conflict, they will be passing back doors to steal our resources. And that is why we are telling you to be careful of your decisions. Please, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification button so that anytime I upload any great content, you will be notified. Thanks for watching.